Good morning, everyone. We are group 1010, and we have 5 group members in our group. They are 小曼, Hao, Mei, Ray, and I'm Yedan. Our topic is HP Sportroom Drama and Divorce. The presentation has 3 parts: the background, the questions, and the conclusions. In the background, we will introduce the general information about HP company, and we will also mention some problems which HP companies has. Then these questions will be answered after the background. At last, there is a conclusion to overview the whole presentation. Okay, first, what is the HP? HP was built in 1947, and it is one of the biggest technology companies in the world. HP company's business focus on 3 areas: the information products area, printing and imaging system area, and the computer professional services area. HP has a lot of problems in different places. We found these problems focus on 3 areas: the strategy problem, asset problems, and problems in the stakeholder management. First is the strategy problems. There are 2 problems in it. The first problem is HP companies replace his CEOs frequently, and it leads to HP's management confusion. The second problem is strategic misleadings. The famous example is the fear of HP's accusations of autonomy. Autonomy is a companies which HP want to purchase. Then HP companies also have some asset problems. We found 2 typical cases in this company. The first case is the illegal business eavesdropping, which HP's chair of board collects information from his board members. The second case is sexual harassment happens in the HP. The last problem is in the stockholder management. The 2 problems we mentioned before have reflected that HP companies did not protect his stockholders' rights well, and we think it is not good for big and global companies. According to these questions, my team members will analyze these questions and give some recommendations later.
Okay, let's turn to the first question. Both are responsible. As for board of directors, it's poor stakeholder management and forget HPV. A firm's competitive advantage fundamentally depends on its capacity for stakeholder management. A good stakeholder management can lead to improved shareholder value, and it should be legal, moral, and ethical. In this case, chair of board investigates the leaker used illegal and immoral ways. So, poor stakeholder management is the main problem. This investigation also violates the HPV, which defined as trust and respect individuals. What's more, CEO also have the responsibility. It includes perform unethically and poor strategy. Although CEO can make huge profit, scandal can also have a huge negative impact on company. What's more, strategic issues lead HP stock go to a free fall, which makes the company suffer huge economic loss. In a word, board of directors should always strictly monitor CEO and correct their misconduct on time. As for recourse, we have two ideas. The first one is private class action lawsuit. According to Cornerstone Research, the security class action filings was 403 in 2018. During this, there are 78 cases are successfully settled. The proportion is very high, so we think private class action lawsuit is a feasible approach to solve this problem. What's more, shareholders have their voting right. They can use this right to select more capable people to enter the board of directors.
Okay, there's a part of the question too. There are 5 reasons of the company which divided their part into several small companies. The first, it could help the company to increase their concentrations. For example, the HP company should focus more on their software and cloud services. It could help them to improve their performance and earn more profit for them. Then since the old company just spent 3% of revenue on their research and development, so that each party should invest more on that and increase their research and development. It could help them to earn more profit and account more market share. With the spin-off, each party should weigh their cons and pros and be private. It could improve their long-term strategic growth. The HP also need to rely more on their software and cloud services since it would be the mainstream in the market, and it also could help them to attract more customers and also many investors. Finally, it's easier for the company to combine with other organizations to share their information and also their technologies to strengthen their products and services in the market. In our view, after the splitting of the company, they could create more shareholder values for the company. Since the team leader of the old company, they have many arguments in their board team, so they could not get the common targets and the goals of the company. So each party should focus on their specific goals and ideas, so it could help them to improve their performance and to get more competitive advantages. Comparing the two companies, I prefer the HP could perform better in the future, since their products is very popular in the market and many investors would like to invest their products and services. So if they could contain the stable strategy and also keep the sustainable development of the company, I think it should be better in the future.
Alright, now we are going to have the third question, which requires us to give the board members certain recommendations from the perspective of the external business consultant. So they go like this. The very first thing that we are going to do is to have an informal chat with those board members, possibly, during the lunchtime before the formal discussion. So it has 2 reasons for this. The first one is absolutely for the ice breaking. And for the second one, well, those board members may say things like, well, we are the internal operators of the corporation and we know the company best, so that we don't really need your help to get the business out of the trouble. Well, it's true that they may have the most solid knowledge of the corporation, but it's possible that they may be stuck in their own way of the thinking. Well, due to the selective perception. So from our perspective, we seriously think that they do need diverse ideas from different perspectives, which we could surely provide. And for the formal discussion, there are several tasks we think they should do, possibly at the same time. Well, the first one is to appease those stakeholders, and here we mainly focus on the shareholders and employees. Well, for both of them, we do think that those board members need to give a formal apology to those stakeholders, and they also need to publicly promise that they wouldn't reduce the stake in stocks to show their confidence in the company of the future. And for shareholders only, they may need to consider holding an extraordinary shareholders meeting and answer their questions with good faith. And for employees, they may need to consider involving their representatives in the management team and also in the decision-making process in the future. And the last thing about this is to try to bring back the HP way, through measures such as retraining or avoiding those behaviors which comply with the HP way. And about the ethical issue, we strongly recommend them to establish the internal business ethics auditing department and periodically release the auditing report. And the last one is about the strategic thing. And here we have two frameworks to recommend them to those board members. Well, the first one focus on the external environment. It aims to help them keep an eye on the market and also on their competitors as well. And for the second one, it could help them to identify the most valuable resource of their corporation so that they could really try to capitalize on those resources. And yeah, that's mainly about the third question.
Okay, so now I'm going to discuss the general lessons in terms of corporate governance and business ethics that can be drawn from this main case. So what exactly are corporate governance and business ethics? Corporate governance represents the relationship among stakeholders that is used to determine and control the strategic direction and performance of organizations, while business ethics is about the moral principles and standards that guide behavior in the world of business. So what we can learn from this mini case? Firstly, do not abandon the culture and value of the company. HP was much admired for its corporate culture, known as the HP way. The core values of the HP way include business conducted with uncompromising integrity and also trust and respect for individuals. But apparently, HP company is forgot is the HP way, and which leads to a series of problems. So do not forget its culture and value. And secondly, the company should maintain good relationship between stakeholders. Before making decisions, we should always ask ourselves about whether this decision will influence the relationship with our stakeholders. And also, we should make sure the strategies of the company are suitable and relatively stable. Although HP have to change several CEO, it doesn't mean that it cannot to maintain a suitable strategy for its own. And lastly, the company should obey the law, do what is right, just, and fair. An organization doesn't mean to just make profit, but it also means it should think about the legal responsibility and also ethical responsibility, and it also need to consider about the desire by its stakeholders. In conclusion, in order to maintain the corporation competitive advantage for the long-term development, the top management team should stick to ethical principles, be sensitive about strategies formulation, and the related relationship with other stakeholders all the time. Thank you for watching.